Does your website leave visitors confused about what to do next and possibly leave them to click away without taking any action? In today's website audit, I am chatting with Camaro Mediation Services, and we're going to talk about how to create a user-friendly experience that naturally guides people towards contacting you. Today's episode, you'll discover the navigation tweaks and call to action strategies that really make it effortless for visitors to truly understand your services and reach out to work with you. Let's get into it. Welcome to Website Design Made Simple, the podcast for busy small business owners who want a high-performing website that converts and sells their offers, even while they're sleeping. Because you deserve to have a strategic and beautiful website that truly represents your brand and positions you as the expert that you are. I'm your host, Jenny B., web designer and creative director at Jenny B Designs, where we believe that your website is the one thing that makes you sales and builds your brand at the same time. Ready to say goodbye to a website that you're embarrassed to share? And hello to a money-making, personality-packed powerhouse? Let's head into today's episode. Today, I have Joey and Mark on the podcast. They work at Camaro Mediation Services. To start, let's talk a little bit about your website. If we were to come together in 6 months and your website was working for you perfectly, doing all the things, what would that look like to you? What would that mean?
So I think for our website, because we don't know anything about websites, so it's almost like we want it to look nice and be user friendly. That's probably the biggest thing. So if someone comes to our website, they can navigate through everything because we do a few different things. So they can navigate through everything and really get a sense of what we do. And they just click that contact button and get to us.
Okay. So conversions, having people actually reach out and connect you from the website is something that you
Yes,
want. And then easy usability so that people just know what to do.
absolutely.
Do you feel like there's been anything that has been stopping you from doing this on the website? Do you have any like current roadblocks that you see or you've been hearing about?
I think for we have been getting people contact us through the contact button, but oftentimes those end up being spam. So just kind of going through those. But um, I think for us, just we had to, if it doesn't always seem that we have it, what's the word I'm looking for? That we have it so organized that it's easily accessible for people to get to what they're looking for. And we're mostly known for divorce mediation, which is great because that's been mostly word of mouth, but we're really trying to put a focus on other types of mediation that we do. And I think that's probably what we're struggling with right now. So everybody's coming in for divorce, but we do other types of mediation as well.
Okay, perfect. So sounds like just looking at your messaging, making sure your website is set up properly to actually get people to that contact page to take the action that you want them to take.
Yeah, messaging probably. Yeah, you said it.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
All right.
attractiveness too.
Yeah, we want
We
it
want
to
it to
look
be
good.
attractive to people.
Yeah, well, your website is actually really nicely done. I like the design. I think it's really clean, approachable, yet professional. Like it straddles that border. So I think that's really good.
Great.
Okay.
Let me share my screen with you, and then we can chat through a few things
Okay.
that I saw. So, like I said, I love your branding. It's really great, really easy to understand and clean. And you carry it through the website too. I think you had it maybe professionally designed. Like I can tell like there's a flow and a design to it. When you first land on the website, there are two main components, and these are the two most important pieces of the website: the navigation bar and then that hero section. What people read, the 2 lines, and then that button, that call to action. Actually, a lot of websites don't even have that button. You do. You're ahead of the game, the reach out, because we want to drive people, to take that next step. Looking at your messaging, we help families move forward, not fall apart. And then you've got like a paragraph and then a third line under there. What I might suggest, and the picture of you both on the right is wonderful, looking at those words, and is there a way to condense them? Maybe make it a little bit shorter. It's a lot of words right there when you land there. And sometimes when people see a block of text, it's a little bit hard to understand kind of how you can help solve their problems. I love how you share this mediation, divorce coaching, consulting, estate and trust resolution. I think that's important to have all of those because you do all of them. Is there a way that you could get it into like one sentence? So it's 2 sentences, super easy to understand with that button, reach out. That would be my suggestion for the hero.
Makes sense.
And on the navigation, this is another way that people really anchor to understand your website. The first thing I think you can do is the less items you have at the top, what's left becomes more prominent. We want people to go to your services page. We want people to go to that contact page. Those are important. I would suggest that you remove the home option. People know when they click the logo, they're taken back to home. Like if we can reduce the number of items up at the top, we only want what's really, really important. You do a great job of bucketing what we do. So these are your 3 ways that you can work with people, correct?
Yes.
Mediation, divorce consulting, estate and trust. So these have your 3 main services. What doesn't fall under what we do is that podcast tab. And I think it's important to have your podcast because it's a great asset and it shows your knowledge and credibility. You might consider, and as we move down the line, putting something called maybe resources or something along that lines where you could bucket the blog and the podcast because those are the resources that you're able to offer your clients, kind of enriching how you work with people and adding that extra level of credibility. So if you had your 3 services under what we do, and then our team is a great option, and then maybe resources, bucketing that podcast and the blog. You have this page of testimonials, and I know it's hard. You do have some names here. I know it's hard probably to get a lot of testimonials, but you do have some. If there's a way to scatter these throughout the pages of your website.
Oh, okay.
People like to, when you're going through the homepage or when you're going through the services page, that's where they want to see that social proof. That's kind of what pushes them over the edge versus sending them to their own page to read the testimonials. They're important, but we don't want someone to like spend time going to that page. We want them to be digesting them as they're reading about your services. You can have your divorce mediation testimonials right on that page. And as long as it applies to that service, that would be a great way for more people to actually see those testimonials and increase that social proof. That would remove this tab. And then the last tab is the most important, the contact us. This is where we want to drive people to. And I think that's a great option. You could add a button that says get started or a free quick call or whatever you want to do. But that's your major action. And I like a button. It's just easy for the eye, like it's a thing that people do on the upper right-hand corner of the website.
Okay. Yeah.
How does that feel for the navigation?
It would
Right.
be a huge difference. I think it sounds amazing. I just learned so much in 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we really want to just drive them to that contact page and make it easy for people to understand what to do. They want to dwell, they can go to the resources, read the blog, see the podcast. You might even want to, and I'm going to share a little bit about the homepage, but maybe the blog is so fun. You could share if you have the podcast, if you have a really great episode, you could consider putting that episode on one of the pages or on one of the homepage. Talk about the episode that someone can just, as they're on their journey, they can say, oh, she did a podcast on this. Maybe I'll listen to her. So that they don't have to like go to each page separately. It's more just about their learning as they're exploring down the page.
Okay. I love that too.
Okay.
And how do you do that? Add the podcast to the page, like you would have just like a quick writing about it and then they can click to go to this page, you mean? Is that what you mean?
I want to ask, how did you build this page? Because it looks different than the other pages. It doesn't
I
have
have
to
no
think
idea.
footer.
I don't know.
Okay.
We didn't do it. I have no idea.
Okay. I wasn't sure because it doesn't, if you go back to the other page, the footer is entirely different.
Okay.
You've got this one over here.
Okay.
And for the podcast page, it just looks different. So I wasn't sure if it was like a different builder, but you've got, let's see, you've got watch and enjoy us. Maybe, you do what you have here. I'm not sure how you built that, but maybe you could have the thumbnail and then you could have the title and a short little like one sentence description if it's a really good episode, and then listen now, and they can just watch it as they're going down the page. Or if you can embed the actual audio, you could do that and they can just listen. You can have an image, listen now, and they can just listen on the page versus
Okay.
sending them away. Just
Okay.
something to think about
Yeah.
adding to the page to add more authority as they're
I love that. I think
websites.
that's awesome.
Okay. That would really trim down your navigation. And if you were able to get a button on the right-hand side, like that would be awesome if you'd be able to, have that navigation. The other thing I wanted to mention is that, again, we're driving people to the contact page, or we're driving people to the services page to then take them to the contact page to fill out the form. You need these calls to action. And on your home page, I noticed that you have one on the hero, which is a very important part of the website. But then we're going to scroll down. We don't have any other buttons on the home page, with the exception of the button at the bottom, which goes to a different website. This one. Learn more about divorce consulting. So when I click this, I'm taken to a different website.
I think we were supposed to fix that. I think that
Whose
was supposed to be
website is that?
fixed. So that was because when we were changing our websites, so we started off with a different website, and then this was we had a separate coaching page, and we were supposed to combine. You have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
so we were
what's going on.
supposed to combine those. So I don't think it was supposed to go to that page anymore. But
Do you still do this or no?
Yeah, we still have coaching, but it was supposed to just be you were supposed to just click on it and then just have information on it, not go to a completely different website.
Oh, okay. Is it
Yeah.
open? Do you have a service? Oh, this page.
This one, yeah.
Oh, okay. Then that's better. So you can fix that to stay on your website.
Yep.
But I would say add some more calls to action. So let me
Okay.
just go back up at the top. Every other section is a rule of thumb. You could have more if you want. So this one right here, I actually think that this would be a really good spot to have learn more and take them to one of the services pages.
Okay.
This one, you don't have to. Why mediation is a better way. So you have a picture of Mark. You could take them to the About page to learn more about the team. If this is talking about kind of how you help the clients on their journey. And then cost-effective solution, learn more about how to work with us, take them to the services page. Just so when you want to make sure that there are no dead ends on your website. So when someone gets to the bottom of the page, you're always taking them to the next place. So thinking about having those calls to action, and then by the time we get to the bottom, we're sending them to the next place on their journey.
So I get it. So all the calls to action can kind of correlate with what they're reading.
Yeah.
Most. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guiding them to the next step. Because otherwise, when you get to the bottom of your home page, you click here, you go to a new site, and you do have your navigation in the footer, which is really great. But sometimes people will get confused. What am I supposed to read next? And
Right.
it's good to guide them on that journey.
Yep. That makes total sense.
Okay. Those are three things. That hero, the homepage, and the navigation, I think will make a really big difference.
Yeah.
I also wanted to mention that when I looked at Google, so Google Business Profile and your website talk to each other, and they help during search engine optimization, and Google will send more people to your website if your profile is up to date. You have reviews, you're posting there semi-regularly. It will help boost your SEO. You seem to have, and I don't know if this is true or not, 2 profiles right here.
We do, and if anyone has a trick for that, if you have a trick for that, so when we first set up, it was during COVID, so we were working from home, and so I set up the Google, and then by the time we switched everything, came here, I set up a new one, not even realizing, so I have followed everything for Google to get that off of Google, and I don't know how to do it.
Okay. I have a resource for you that I can send to you.
Okay.
Not a huge thing, but if you have tried to address the problem, just as long as you know about it, that there are
Yeah, like multiple times I've tried to get rid of it, and I can't get rid of that because we don't even want that on there.
Okay.
I
And
could
then
change my address.
Yeah.
okay, you're gonna change your address, and what I wanted to share was you wanna make sure that this address matches your website's address exactly. You've got Drive DR, you've got, Suite STE. You want your website to match that let me get rid of this. Your website to match that exactly, and where do we see?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying, like
Yeah.
exactly. Okay.
I'm gonna
Yes.
change that anyway to the new
Yeah.
address, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while you're doing that, you can change it right there, and do we have it on this page too? Yes.
Okay.
Change that.
Both of them both. Twice.
Both, yeah, you can take that. And if you can, let's see, you have reviews. You're doing so much on social media, post on your Google Business profile too, just occasionally. Like once a month, you can even set up a zap that like when Instagram goes, the business profile will go, because that just tells Google that you're there a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, I forget that exists.
I know, I do too. But it does matter for your traffic. It's crazy like what a difference it can make. And then one final thing that I wanted to share, talking about search engine optimization. When we look at these three main pages, divorce coaching and consulting, and will and trust mediation. Let's open up will and trust. And I'm going to open up this little tool that I have. Can you see the pop-up that just came about?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. We are on will and trust mediation. If I go over to your headers, I can see what the headers are for every section. This is an important page because in the URL, you have will trust mediation. That's your keyword, and that's a great URL for that. You want your keyword to appear in your H1, 2 times in your H2, and in the body. Are you following what I'm saying, or is this
See H1, H2.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. H3.
what that is these headlines? Some of them are marked H1s, some of them are marked H2s, and then this is your body copy. And do you know how your website is built? What builder you use?
GoDaddy. Is that a builder? I don't even know.
Is no. What
Okay.
what would be a builder name that I would know?
Elementor, WordPress.
Breast.
Yeah.
With maybe like an Elementor, a Beaver Builder, or
Oh, Beaver Builder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep drawing them out there.
I figured no, I would know it if she said it. That I knew that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you go into the back end, when you're on the words, it's like when you get over to the box and you can change the words in the box, you would also see how it's marked if it's an H1 or an H2.
Oh, okay. You're right. I have seen that.
Yeah, and just something to think about when you're building a page or if you're going to update any copy is having that keyword will trust mediation. It doesn't have to, you could spruce it up a little bit, but having it at least appear in the H1 and an H2 and in the body on a single page. That's how Google identifies what you do. And that's how you will show up a little bit more in search for that specific service.
Okay.
Something to think about. It's not the end of the world. Like you don't have to put it on the top of your to-do list. But if you were to make any copy tweaks on the website and you're going to be in there changing, just think about how you can incorporate that in some headlines to make it a little bit more easily found on Google.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay. How does that feel? Does that help a little bit? And narrowing kind of the journey and giving people a little bit more guidance?
Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
even just the header alone to slim it down a little bit, I think will be a huge difference.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. And then calls to action, like telling people, go here,
Right.
go here, because no one does anything unless you tell them to do it.
Right.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
I love that.
Do you want to take a second and shout out your business so everyone can know what you do and where to find you and all the
Yeah, absolutely. So we're Camara Mediation. We are in Woburn, and we can mediate anywhere in the country. So mostly divorce mediation, like we mentioned before, but we also have divorce consulting and any type of family mediation. So siblings could be anything, wills, trusts, things like that. So, but we also have an office in Texas, and anyone can work with us via Zoom anywhere in the country.
All right,
Yeah.
fantastic. Thank you both so much. I appreciate you coming on. And that wraps up another episode of Website Design Made Simple. I hope you found the insights shared in this episode valuable and takes you one step closer to creating a website that attracts more of your ideal clients and builds your brand. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or a rating on Spotify. Your review will help us reach more small business owners like you who are ready to make more money with their website. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.